What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Buds, Bros, and Superheroes, the only show where the hosts are politically correct enough to call him Caucasian Vision. I am your host, Nick James, and coming back with me, that's right, the first recurring guest is Mr. JD. What's up, dude?
How's it going? Good to be back. Good to be back.
Awesome to have you here again. If you're not familiar, go back 2 episodes and you can listen to us talk about what we'll talk about again today. Let me just first catch you up to speed if you haven't been here before. Buds, Bros, and Superheroes are the 3 things that we are going to be talking about today. So in Buds, if you happen to be a traveler of the green is what I like to call it on here. We've got some fun little topics, got a little bit of etiquette talk, and then we have the mother of all stoner thoughts. But it's not going to come in the Buds section, it's going to come in the Bros. We'll explain. In the Bros, we're just going to talk a little bit about how we've been doing, our plans for the upcoming week, and things of that sort. And then to finish off, like I almost kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, we're going to finish up with more WandaVision talk. The show ended. I need to know what you think. We have to finish up the last 4 episodes, kind of reviewing, walking through, talking about it, bullshitting, like we like to do, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely. I think I was born to bullshit.
It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a second language to me.
So strap on in. Buds, Bros, and Superheroes are starting now. So to begin the Bud section, I usually like to start off asking what we're smoking on. I myself am still hitting up that awesome fucking deal at Harvest for Small Bud Mondays from Franklin Labs where you get $10 off. So I have me some Honey Badger Haze Small Buds. Delicious. I believe I've talked about my number one thing when I like a good sativa is my adjective or describing it as nail driving.
Okay.
I smoke and I'm just like, all right, what can we do? You know, let's type up something. Let's do this. Let's get this going. It's definitely on the opposite side of into couch. You know, you want to get up and you want to do some fucking stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Gotcha. I'm smoking on Cookies and Chem Untrimmed by Illyra. It's a sativa as well, and it's not one where you kind of lounge. It's more of a, gets me focused if I need to focus and do something, not be a zombie all day. But so yeah, it's pretty good if you want to get shit done,
Again, from the same place?
From, yes, Columbia Care. Yep, Columbia Care.
I found one around here by the Ollies or the Garrity's Ollies.
That's Columbia Care.
I'm going to, you can't go into them if you have not already seen a pharmacist. That's one thing that people may or may not know. Hopefully drop a nugget of...
I think Columbia Care, you could go in without seeing a pharmacist.
Really?
Yeah, you could. I chose to see the pharmacist the first time because I had, just some questions about the medical marijuana experience. But because the lady, I was about to go and she's like, do you need to see a pharmacist? I was like, yeah, I can talk to someone. But she was ready to let me go do my own thing. So I think if you wanted to, I think you might be able good to go to walk in there and do what you got to do.
I will have to check that out, yeah, because it has been... I've had to see a pharmacist for everyone that I've been to so far.
I could be wrong, but yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure she was going to let me go on my own.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I know there's a couple. I haven't gone to Justice Grown yet, but I know that one in Dixon City, you have to see a pharmacist and stuff.
I like that one as well.
I've yet to go there, but my one buddy who has a license as well, he loves it. That's like his go-to spot, but yeah, I've yet to check it out because... I found one I liked, and I'm like, I'm just going to hang out here for a while, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll only do the other one if I'm going up to the mall. If I'm up by the mall anyway, and I look, and there's something good, or a sale, or blah, 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 I'll hit that one up too. But yeah, they're, again, another really nice, but fuck that. Harvest Small Bud Mondays is my jam.
$10
still.
off. Can't beat that shit.
I really can't.
No,
I'm sorry.
Cannot.
Now, a little bit different. We have been doing for a while on the show some stoner / shower thoughts for those who aren't comfortable saying stoner. We have one. It has to do with the finale. Some might see where I'm going already, but we're going to save that. I was like, fuck, what are we going to talk about then? And then I found on the same place, so thank you to weedmaps.com is where I found a bunch of articles and shit. Stoner etiquette. And I thought we can go through that for anybody who's new to traveling the green or a stoner new themselves. This is what we're going to be talking about. So the first one, bring your own to share. I thought this was pretty poignant because, if you go to somebody's house to drink, you don't ever show up empty-handed either.
Right, unless they say, hey, don't worry about bringing anything. We got it. We got you covered. But, otherwise, it's like you're going there and you're kind of just scrounging off them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like that too. Bring your own. If you have it, bring your own. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna say no to someone who doesn't have it, but at the same time, it's like you're kind of a dick. You don't have your own shit.
Especially if you're the one who's like, hey guys, we should have a smoke session.
Right, yeah.
Come to my house. I have a house. You bring the weed. And it's like, well, fuck you. I have the weed and the house. Why don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Number 2, don't hassle someone who doesn't want to consume.
Yep.
Seems another obvious one of just like, fuck you, peer pressure.
That's right. That's Dare 101. Remember Dare back in the day? Yeah,
I do.
Don't peer pressure people if they don't want to do it. Like, because I've been there. There's been times where I didn't want to, smoke or drink or something. I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. I just want to hang out. Like, I don't need to get fucked up, But yeah, definitely don't. Because then it just ruins everybody's time. Because then you got someone pissed off that they're being peer pressured. So yeah, I agree. I like that one a lot.
I'm not going to lie. I got a little sad. You're like, you remember Dare, right? And I did. And I don't want to say his name. But I just thought of this guy who was the guy who's like, don't do drugs. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And now I just remembered and I lied to him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But it's medicine.
Yeah.
I've got a card that says I could do it.
Well, back when we were doing Dare, like weed was looked upon very differently than it is now, So I feel like it's come a long way. It's evolved where, like you said, it's medicinal now. So we're good.
Yeah, I probably should have frowned more when I was in my alcoholic days.
Yeah.
That's more.
Right, yeah. I can get a little hectic, yeah.
Number 3 seems kind of stupid, but I'll say it out loud anyway. Always remove seeds and stems.
Yeah, I mean, nothing worse than getting a fucking seed in there and, it's, just be smart, remove the seeds and stems, It's not that difficult.
No, Afro Man sang about it.
Pick out the seeds and stems, feeling high as hell.
Thank you. It's so funny. It's one time I was like, Big, you've never heard that? Big Body Bigs? And he's like, no, I must have missed that Afro Man song. But
Cold 45, right? Is that I think that's the name of the song, Cold 45, yeah.
And 2 zigzags.
Maybe that's all we need.
If you can't roll a joint, be honest about it.
I am terrible at rolling joints. I actually bought a joint roller because of the fact that I cannot roll a joint. Never could. And, in high school and college, just always left it up to someone else because I was shit. If you were smoking a joint rolled by me, you were probably going to be really pissed off.
And that is the thing at the end of the day is just kind of say like, no, because not maybe. Your friends are going to make fun of you a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
But then once you're smoking a good joint, it's over.
Right.
If you don't fess up to it and you smoke a bad joint, it lasts forever and then it never lasts.
Yep.
Because you'll always be the guy who's like, oh, should blank roll? And it's like, no, fuck him. He says he could roll, but don't fucking let it. And then it just lasts forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that shit sticks with you.
It really it reminds me of Superbad where he's like, why don't you go piss your pants again? He's like, I was in the 8th grade.
People don't forget, Seth.
Thank you. Number 5, and this is one where Big Body Biggs and I would always kind of clash. It's funny. I hope he types a comment down below. Anybody can actually type a comment down below. That is one of the reasons why I did this. If you have your own, there are 18 here. I don't think we're going to get through them all today, but we'll get through a good amount. If you have your own, if you want to comment and say, no, you're wrong about this, or I couldn't agree more, you're on YouTube, feel free. But what do you think about this? Whomever rolls the joint or blunt should spark it.
I think that's only fair, man. You put the hard work in. You know what I mean? You should get your spoil. Enjoy the spoils of it, first. I mean, it's going to get to you eventually, so I don't see the harm in letting the person that rolled it get it first.
Yeah, if you go back and listen, he'll be like, this motherfucker never sparks his own or never wants to spark. And I'm like, because you roll it, A, that's the rule, and B, I let you roll because you're a master.
Yeah.
He really, truly, with a machine, without a machine, he could do anything.
Oh, really? Yeah.
True, great at it.
Yeah.
And we'd be there and he'd be like, here. I'd be like, no, why? You can't just hand me like you said, you put in all that work.
Yeah. Yeah, I would almost feel weird taking it off them first,
I also don't want it to canoe.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do that a lot.
Well, yeah, then you're the one that fucked it up. And then you got the whole time you're just trying to correct the situation. Yep. Yeah. Let someone else start it off and you just enjoy the rest of it. Number 6, offer guests the first hit.
Yeah, but that does kind of go against whomever rolls the joint. What if you rolled a joint in your house? Can you then I feel like I'm in a robot in a paradox where it's like I'm supposed to roll my own joint or spark my own roll, but it's in my house, but they're my guests. What do you do?
I think the proper etiquette, it's like anything else. I think you offer it knowing full well that you should be the one to start it, but I feel like you got to be like, here, you want to do this first? And if I was the person on the other end, I'd say, No, you rolled it, smoke. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's common courtesy to offer it, but at the same time, if you roll it, you should be the first one to spark it. But I wouldn't get mad if you offered it or vice versa. You know what I mean? If you sparked it without offering it, I can go either way on it. You know what I mean?
Yes, because I would feel as the guest like, no, I am here in your home. You
Right.
started as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth. So this one I always agree with, though. So don't torch the bowl.
Yeah. I mean, there's no need to do that shit. just there's no need to fucking put a burning flame, uncontrollably on it.
For those who don't know, if you have a bowl, it's what's called greenies, and the greenies are the best. And instead of just roasting the entire thing, what I call burning down the forest, you take it and you kind of put it half on the weed, half off the weed, and you take a corner, and then if the second person is good enough, they could take a second corner, and I've actually been up to 5. Everybody's taken a side, and then somebody gets the center. We've left 5 greenies. It's difficult. It takes time and practice, but don't just go in there and start fucking all over the place.
Yeah, like the Human Torch. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be great.
If you were the Human Torch, or if you had a buddy that was the Human Torch, hey man, yeah.
I'm thinking about Chris Evans standing there, and he's like kind of naked because he's got the little thing on, and he's snapping his finger.
Yeah.
Like imagine lighting a blunt like that every time.
Very convenient. Yeah.
Super.
You have to look for a lighter. Who took my fucking lighter? And it's like, I don't need it. I got my fingers to handle that.
Flame on, motherfucker.
Flame on. Number 8, don't slobber on the piece. I am guilty of this. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking slobber all over. I don't know if it's because I'm just Neanderthal or what, but I mean, I've had people numerous times say, "Dude, what the fuck? Get your shit together." But
if you're new, I try always to tell them like pinch your lips as much as I can, like do that. It's a weird thing because I don't understand sometimes how my mouth could be so cottony.
Yeah.
And yet when it comes around to me, it's like, dude, really? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. What happened there for that 1 minute?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just started drooling. I can't help it.
This next one is more poignant. Something we're going to talk about, I think, a little bit longer than all the other ones, is admit when you're sick.
Yeah, especially now, I feel like this is more poignant than ever, and it's fucking wild because, like, back in the day, I wouldn't think twice of sharing a blunt or a joint with someone, but now, like, there's been a couple occasions where someone offers me, I'm like, dude, I'm good. I got my own, you know what I mean? Like, I'm freaked out by everything with COVID and all that, but yeah, admit when you're sick because nobody wants to get fucking sick.
Yeah, so, like, what are we supposed to do in a post-COVID world? Are we never going to pass again?
Yeah.
I would feel safe hitting somebody's piece, their bong, their glass, if an alcohol swab was there.
Right.
Maybe. And then what? You're going to do that for everyone, and then I'm sure it'll taste a little bit like alcohol and stuff like that. So
everybody's just going to smoke joints to the head in the new world,
just right to their face. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. I feel like it's as with anything, as time goes on, we'll become more lax and stuff. But I feel like for what now, people are going to be a little bit hesitant to share,
Or we could do it. Hear me out. Why don't we make tiny little funnels?
That's not bad. Like something you mean to put at the end of so you could like everybody has their own funnel? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, imagine if you will, like even the glass piece at the top of a water, they call them water pipes. It's funny, in the one place I go to, like, because it's a head shop of blood, they can't say bong. So there's a piece of paper, and it's like, if it rhymes with gong, you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
We sell water pipes.
That's awesome.
But imagine, like, the top of the piece that you have. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm sorry. Instead of getting it all filthy down at the bottom that originally goes into the piece, you suck on that. Everybody, all right, give me the joint. You put that in, and then you suck on that almost.
Dude, you might have $1 million idea right there.
I might. Or even, like, it reminds me of, like, 20s.
Right, like
those long-ass
tips,
fucking things.
yeah,
Everybody just has their own filter.
Yeah.
But we got to make it cool somehow.
Right, make it hip. Make so all the kids like it. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
That's funny. We should. So these next 3, I kind of feel really fall into just one piece of etiquette, if I'm going to be honest about it. So puff, puff, pass.
Pass the Dutchie to the left-hand side.
And don't hog/bogart the weed. So that's a big thing, guys, and I am always the one to be guilty of this. I assume it's a microphone, so when it's my time, everybody's looking at me because they're like, pass it, you fucking fool.
Yep.
But because I'm such a arrogant prick. I'm like, look at them looking at me. They're engaged. They like what I'm saying. And in the meantime, they're looking at me like, shut the fuck up and move that shit.
Yep.
To the left is apparently. Have you always been? I always go right.
I do left.
Yeah.
I do left. What's that counterclockwise? Is that clockwise left to the left?
To the left would be clockwise.
Yeah, I think I just do everything clockwise in my life. But yeah, I mean, I agree with the, I'm the person that would be yelling at you like, come on, what the fuck, dude? Like, I can't tell you how many times I yell at people for fucking camping on the joint or the blunt, and I get it, especially as time goes on, you're getting more stoned, more zoned out, but it's like, dude, come on, I'm fucking trying to get there too,
I like that camping. I'm definitely gonna steal that. Like, hey, you gonna set up a motherfucking tent over there? Huh?
Yep.
You camping?
I always fucking, you fucking camping over there? What's going on? Like every time someone's hogging it, that's my go-to phrase, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the one that I get hit with the most is, you got a microphone in your fucking hand?
Well, that's relative. Yeah, that relates to you pretty well. So.
And then, so the last one, don't hog, a.k.a. Bogart. So maybe some don't know an actor from, I think, the 20s, 30s, Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't tell you what he did or what he was in. But.
I only got one, the Maltese Falcon.
Okay.
So I'll say to the person, just like, hey, you find that Falcon yet? Huh? Where's Maltese? You and Peter Lorre fucking found it, and nobody gets it. But I'm like, I get it.
Right.
It's not very funny, but
to you
also
it is.
say
That's
like these. Yeah, exactly. So we got 12 in. There was 18 on the list. We might save the 6 for another time. I enjoyed it. I thought that was great. There's been a lot of times in which I wish somebody had been like, yo, check these rules out.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, your friends, I love them. Not your friends, like your friends.
Yeah.
We love our own friends, but your friends are dicks.
Right.
To you.
Yeah. Everybody, yeah. I'm the biggest asshole to my closest friends, because they're your friends. You feel comfortable enough. But I feel like this was a good PSA. It's like a PSA we're giving out there. Public service announcement. Don't be an asshole when it comes to your weed etiquette.
Perfect way to close on out the bud section. We can go into the bros section. Heading into the bros section, just kind of starting off, dude. How you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, not too bad, man. COVID really haven't been doing too much, so it's like not a lot changes for me week to week. Like this is probably like one of my biggest outings coming to do this podcast with you. But yeah, I've been doing pretty well. Waiting for warmer weather and all that shit. So
it was quite nice today.
It was beautiful. I went for like 3 walks during work today. I was like, I gotta go outside because I get cooped up. But yeah, hopefully we don't get another fucking snowstorm because I can't handle that shit again. But yeah, it was beautiful today.
It really was. Yeah, we had the dogs outside on the porch. We were cleaning out the cars. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like everybody goes into cleaning mode when it's this nice out. It's like, yo, we gotta clean this shit because we don't know when we're going to another day like this.
Yeah, it just felt great to get real air into the house as well and open up all the windows and all the great stuff that comes with, what was it, like 74 tops?
Close, yeah, 72, 73 maybe, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can live all day with that shit.
I agree. That's the perfect temp for me.
Yeah, COVID-wise worked for me. I still have no return date going in and stuff like that. Still working from home. Pretty happy about it, to be honest. Like, it's a little waning, but to be dead honest, I was really, really, really dead at work the other night.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, if I was in the building, I don't know what I'd do right now. I'd be running up and down the halls.
Yeah.
Because I work second shift where, there's a point nobody would be there anyway. Mm-hmm. I would just be running around in fucking circles going,
Dude, I know. I work my full-time job, but then I have a part-time job. And once in a while, my part-time job, I have to work the overnight shift, 12 to 8. That is fucking brutal because it's like, same thing, like 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. rolls around, and I'm fucking doing anything in my power to stay awake. It's not like it's anything strenuous. I probably could fall asleep if I want to, but at the same time, I'm not thinking about driving home and shit. So yeah, it's tough when you work that shift.
Only had to do it a few times, and it was quite some time ago. And every time I had to do it, I was always, in my opinion, fucked because I'd work the mid shift and be like, all right, it's 4 o'clock, or I'd no, it's 10 o'clock. I'd be like, all right, it's 10 o'clock. Like, it's time to go. And the guy'd be like, I'm not scheduled. And be like, what do you mean you're not scheduled? Nobody's coming in. So I'd call the boss, be like, nobody's coming in. He'd be like, well, you're there.
Oh, fuck that.
So every time I did it, I was like, fuck it, I'm sitting in the office. And they're like, as long as there's a body there to scan the card. And I was just like, this sucks.
That's the worst, yeah. Especially when we're working that shift and you're expecting someone to come relieve you and you're fucking stuck there. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to ever do that again.
No, it's fucking the worst.
Anything fun coming up for you?
To be honest with you, not too much. Might do a little outing this Saturday with the wife and the in-laws, but other than that, just putzing around, waiting for summer so I can actually have a social life again, I feel like.
Yeah, hopefully outside stuff gets opened up again and we can all kind of head back out.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to get too political on the show
No.
ever, but everything I've read and seen is like, yeah, outside we're pretty good.
Right. Inside, you're fucked.
Inside it's a little bit worse and numbers go up, but if you're outside, it should be pretty okay as long as you're still smart. But smart plus outside is like almost unbeatable.
Golden. Yeah, you're golden. I mean, other than that, like, I just want to be able to go to fucking concerts again. Man, I miss concerts and shit like that. So hopefully, like I said, I don't want to get too political, but hopefully, shit opens up sooner than later.
I saw something and it was like a gridded path, like a giant, like, this is your area for a concert. It's like, is this what you really want? And I was like, I would go to 12 times the amount of concerts if you told me some drunk moron couldn't bump on me. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't mean to preach on a show that's all about weed, but like, I don't drink.
Right.
And I don't mind people drinking, but when like you get sloppy drunk,
Yeah.
I've seen at concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We all know that person.
asshole,
I don't think
yeah.
I'm being too stereotypical, but there's always that one person like, sorry. And you're
Right.
just like, can you not touch me?
The asshole singing Freebird behind you. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, pre-COVID, I'd still be like, stop. You're in my space.
No,
this
I
is
agree.
way too much.
But I also might have been that guy on a couple occasions, but I agree. I hate being that guy. I hope someone would punch me if I am that guy.
But at least you're fucking honest about it, man. That was just, I love that. You're like, I may have been that guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I fucking probably have been that guy a few times, but I try to learn from my mistakes.
A little bit of a restriction that's coming up. I'm going to be able to head back to what I call the motherland, because I am from New Jersey originally.
Boo.
Is to go to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. They were at 35 Broad Street for, I think, like 2 decades, something like that. And now they're going to be at 65 Broad Street. If you want to see anything, if you're not in the area, not from around here, can't go, Kevin has put up, I think there's 4 or 5 parts of the taking down and resetting up of the store. Are you familiar with Clerks?
Yes, I'm not like super. I've seen it, not in a while, but I've seen it. Yes.
Do you happen to remember the guy who comes in to buy a gallon of milk? He works at a fitness place. He's buff.
I'd be lying if I said I did remember, to be honest with you.
His name is Ernie O'Donnell. He's in that movie. It does make a few appearances in other smaller roles throughout, but he's vlogged it as well as done the fucking work.
Yeah.
So if you want to see it or anybody outside there, it's definitely cool. But I'll be going to the grand opening, the official grand opening, because I saw there was a soft one.
That's
fuck,
awesome.
Man. Thought I was going to be one of the first people in there. But you guys, friends and family, of course, always get a sneak peek,
Bastards.
and the press probably did, and different things like that.
That's fucking awesome, yeah. Is Kevin Smith's going to be there? Or?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking
So
sweet.
It's not going to be my first time seeing Kev, but it's going to be my first time ever being in the same room with Jay. He's going to be there as well.
That's so both of them. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
It's never happened before for me. So I'm very,
oh my god, it's
very
happening.
excited. Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm jealous. Like, I know I like Kevin Smith and I like Jay and Silent Bob, but I know you're a huge fan, so that's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So like kind of tying everything in with the COVID as well. Like there's appointments. So from 2 to 2:30, me and 9 other people get to go in 6 feet apart, continuously wearing masks.
Yeah.
And then Kev will come out and stage, and then one person goes and takes a picture, and that lasts, I don't know, hopefully 10 minutes. And then you get 20 minutes to kind of shop, and then like, fuck off.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
And then in between every people, there's a 10-minute cleaning session.
Oh, shit. This is thorough.
So, yeah, and he said, yeah, there's an appointment, so you can't just kind of gather. And, yeah, it's not like it would be in the quote-unquote old days, but at least it's something.
It's something, yeah. It's something to look forward to. That's fucking cool.
We went down almost to the same spot for the movies pop-up.
Okay.
And it was the same kind of appointment and go and sit and kind of
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. I would have liked to check that out. But, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, that's the shit we got to deal with now is appointments for the time being. But like you said, at least it's something. At least you get to check out the store and see Kevin Smith. That's pretty fucking cool.
You might get a chance to try movies, because I wouldn't be surprised if they come to other parts of... I'm not sure if they've been to Pennsylvania yet, but they haven't stopped touring since I went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they hit up a new kind of place all the time.
That's
so
cool, yeah.
they might come to this.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I got a vegan cow tipper because my wife is vegetarian.
Yeah, so
And
you
I
have to eat
have
it
been
too?
thinking about it, to be honest. Like,
Shit, really?
it was actually really good.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I've tried vegan and vegetarian stuff, and it's not terrible, but I fucking love red meat. I love just meat.
I couldn't agree more, because I have had a lot. Like I said, my wife, blah, blah, blah. So I've tried a various amount of fake meats in various amounts of ways, and some of them are okay, but you can always tell.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one, even the Impossible,
Or Beyond
the
Meat,
Imposter,
yeah.
the Beyond. There hasn't been one where I'm like, is this not real?
I know.
Even though it's been tried.
Yeah.
Because I'd sell all the time, try and fool me.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened yet.
Same here. I tried the one they had Dunkin's, and I was like, because I was hearing great things. Though it tastes just like meat, and it wasn't bad, but it tastes nothing like meat. It's like something totally different. It wasn't bad, but it tastes something totally different.
Oh, I agree, but I fucking love that thing anyway. The Beyond, I think that one
I think it was the
Beyond.
yeah.
And I really liked that. It wasn't trying to be fooled, wasn't trying to fool myself. Like, I'm
Right.
not either one of those, but that taste, I actually really dug. However they made it taste that way, I was like, fuck yeah, I'll taste this. And I bought that as a non-vegan vegetarian
Yeah.
for me, non-health reasons, other than the fact that I fucking actually liked the way that it tasted. I was very surprised by how much I liked that one.
Yeah, I don't remember if I liked it. I don't think I did like it that much. But like again, that might have been just me in my head saying, "Oh, this is not fucking meat. I can't like this shit."
Oh yeah, that wall is definitely something that I've been privy to taking down now, because I've tried chicken, CHICK''N. It's not real chicken.
No, it's
The
like
meat.
tofu shit, right?
Yeah. They
No.
do get crunchier than real chicken nuggets, though.
Get out.
Yeah.
Damn, I love crunchy chicken nuggets. I might have to check it out.
You might, yeah, because again, I do feel like you might be like, this isn't chicken, but you will crunch your way through it. They do get nice and crunchy.
Give me that crunch, yeah. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I'll give home ec another shot.
That was, oh God, so much super bad references.
I know.
So as I go to meet Kevin Smith, like you said, I'm a big fan, and he's my favorite director. Who's your favorite director?
I was thinking about this, because ever since you said you're going to see Kevin Smith, and I gotta say Quentin Tarantino probably. I'm a big. I hate Tarantino as a person, I find him incredibly annoying. Like, yeah, you can't stand his interviews and stuff. Watching him, but as a director, I think I love every fucking movie he puts out. Like Glorious Bastards, Pulp Fiction, all those movies. So if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Tarantino.
And then out of that, which one is your favorite?
Shit, my favorite Tarantino movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Honestly, it's probably one of the newer ones, but Inglourious Bastards. I fucking love that movie. It's like a great cast, great story. I love the reimagining of what really happened to Hitler and stuff like that. I think it was just really cool. But I mean, I love Pulp Fiction too, but I would probably pick Inglourious Bastards, gun to my head.
I love that Mike Myers is in it.
Yeah, he's
What a weird pull in there.
Yeah, he's like a British general or something, and I can't remember. Yeah, it's like, holy shit. And no, I didn't know he was in it until I saw it. I was like, holy shit, that's Mike Myers, Austin Powers. But yeah, and which I love Austin Powers too. But yeah, so I would definitely say Inglourious Bastards.
I think I had like a Watch Mojo on or some shit like that, where I was like, people you didn't know, and I was like, that is Mike Myers. Holy fucking shit! Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, because he had a lot of prosthetics on, I feel like, in it, but you could still tell it was him. But yeah, it was definitely a cool little cameo.
I love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I mean that's great. That's like that's the first Tarantino movie I remember watching. That's what got me into it. Got into Tarantino movies, but actually totally forgot about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too. Have you seen that?
I did once. I paid to watch it. I rented it.
Yeah,
and I didn't love it. I want to watch it again, but I'm not going to pay for it again.
Yeah.
So once it's somewhere where I can watch it again, I think I didn't have HBO Max when it was on there, and
I feel like a lot of people didn't love it, but I loved it. I went to see it in the theaters by myself, I remember, and I was like, fuck, it's a slow burn, but it's a really good movie. But that's up there too. But yeah, I would say Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction, and probably actually Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now.
When you saw it alone in theater, did you put your fucking dirty ass feet up on the back of the headrest like Margot Robbie did?
Hell yeah. Hell yes.
I know that motherfucker has a foot thing, but that bothered me as somebody who used to work at a movie theater, somebody who likes to go. I'm just like, stop. Stop showing her feet. They're so dirty right now. And
Oh, no, I didn't take my
Tarantino
shoes
fucking-
off. No, I didn't do that. But
No, that scene bothered me.
yeah.
It was good, though. I liked it.
Yeah,
I'll have to see it again.
it's a slow
fully.
burn, but it's a good movie. I hope he puts out another one soon. I don't know if he's got any projects in the pipeline, but I do enjoy a Tarantino movie. Like I said, don't like him really, but I like his movies.
Have you ever met him or met anybody of fame?
No, unfortunately I've never met him. Even though like I say he's annoying, it would be fucking awesome to meet him. But I've met like a couple of musicians. Like I went backstage with REM once, and Andrew McMahon, who was like a punk singer from a band I used to like. But other than that, no, I never really got a chance to meet anybody really cool that I would like. Someone I would be like geeking out over. But how about you? Well, you already said Kevin Smith.
Kevin, yeah, other than that, I feel like there was one more. I met the Red Ranger.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. You were saying, yeah.
And then Kel Mitchell.
Oh, that's cool. I met a couple wrestlers, like WWF wrestlers back in the
fucking
day.
counts.
Yeah. Now that I think about like Owen Hart, I met British Bulldog, Marty Jannetty. I don't know if you remember Marty Jannetty. He was fucking.
I didn't do any wrestling.
Oh, you weren't a
growing up.
wrestling
No,
guy?
I don't know why it didn't hit.
Yeah, I love that shit.
You would think good guys, bad guys dressing up, pounding each other. I'd be up my alley,
Yeah.
but no, I don't know what about it. It was not.
Man, I love
Didn't
that
do
shit.
it.
I was jumping off counters, fucking like imitating them and stuff. But yeah, I met some wrestlers, but other than that, like nobody like. No, like A-listers, you know what I mean? I would consider or someone like on my bucket list that I would like to meet.
Yeah, though Kevin's on my bucket list, both he and I would say I don't think he's an A-list celebrity.
He's up there though. Like he's pretty not A-list, but like he's definitely like
I would say a C-list. He
Yeah.
says Z, like he really takes a
I would
jab
say
at
B
himself.
maybe even. I would say B like personally because like, I'm not like a diehard fan and I know who he is. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's common. But I think like a lot of people would know him. But
Well, fucking comicbook.com, he says anything on any podcast ever, and they're like, Kevin Smith says this. So the world has been bombarded with him pretty hard by them.
yeah,
I don't mean to be too hard on them, but I tried to read an article the other day, and I just couldn't get fucking through it.
they suck.
With all of the fucking pop-ups.
Not only that, it's clickbait too. Their headlines are always like major reveal for upcoming Avengers movie, and it's like just something stupid that everybody knew already. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something minuscule.
I still don't mean to be a dick about it, but they could use a copy editor.
Yeah, for sure.
Small things, things that the computer doesn't pick up. There was something like where it was the, but it was only he. And of course, the computer's not going to pick that up. It's spelled correctly, but
Yeah.
a person would know that there's a motherfucking T in the. It just
Right.
makes more sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not going to die on that. Comicbook.com, Buds, Bros, and Superheroes. We're in that territory. Time to make that shift. That was may have been the worst segue I've ever had.
Hey, it worked. It works.
But I did tease a shower thought
Yes.
that will even further the talk of WandaVision. The ship, Theseus.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
If you have a ship, right, and you take away the planks and replace them with new planks, is it still the ship once you've replaced all the old rotted out planks? Or as you took those rotted wood away and you restored them and then rebuilt it with the unrotted, restored wood, which one is still the ship of Theseus?
That is a great question. And
Did I explain it well enough? Because everybody
Yeah.
who saw WandaVision's like, I see where he is, but if you haven't,
yeah, it makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah, if you kind of fix something with new parts, is it still the same thing or same vessel? And I would say, yeah. I mean, I think like if you're like, if the bones of it, like the core of it, is still the same, I feel like it would be the same. You consider it the same ship. You know what I mean? That's my opinion of it, at least.
I would have to agree. Yeah, I would think that there would then be two, because in my opinion, it's what you said is it's the soul that's put into it, the idea that's put into going behind it. If you're restoring a car for somebody who used to drive that car when it was brand new, and you want to give it back, but like the door's not the same, doesn't make it any less the car.
Right? They're not
going to
give a shit
intention
about
is there.
that.
Yeah.
They're gonna say this is fucking my car. Yeah, exactly.
For those super lost, it will make sense as we close this for sure and enter the superheroes, where we're going to talk about the last 4 episodes of WandaVision. So to kind of bigly recap Smalley, Wanda and Vision are in this place in New Jersey.
Jersey.
It is the fucking
Westview.
motherland.
Fuck
And time is passing in decades. And with that, of them being kind of in a TV land, if you will. Oh man, do you remember TV Land?
Hell yeah,
Still a station?
it's still a station. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I don't watch it, but it's still a station. I used to watch it all the time.
Imagine each episode being like TV Land episodes of like, all right, first we're in Leave It to Beaver, and then we're kind of in Bewitched, and then we're kind of in the Brady Bunch, and
It takes you through like the evolution of sitcoms, I would say. You know what I mean? Like it's
you're so much smarter than me.
I wouldn't say that, but
That was perfect. It takes you through the evolution of sitcoms, where now, as we pick up the story right now, Wanda and Vision are married. They live in Westview. They've got the 2 boys, a nosy next door neighbor who's up to something, and people are acting weird, and Vision doesn't know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on yet.
yeah.
I think that's a pretty good start. People on the outside, so there's an inside and an outside.
Right, inside the hex and outside the hex, yeah.
That's a good thing to mention. Yes, people
Yeah.
are watching what's inside, as you mentioned, the hex.
Right.
So we start this episode with the all-new Halloween Spooktacular. I think it might be my favorite episode.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good episode. I like the Halloween incorporation. Yeah, it was great.
I always love that time of the year.
Me too.
No matter, if it's actually all the way October through.
Right.
Of like the Christmas episode, the Thanksgiving episode, blah, blah. So the Spooktacular was definitely great. And also the beginning is Malcolm in the Middle,
Yep.
for all intents and purposes.
Yep. And you could pick up on that right away. It's as soon as you're like, oh, this is Malcolm in the Middle, like the theme song and just the style it was shot and stuff. Yeah.
To say homage is a little bit of an understatement. These guys really just were like, we love you. Look how well we did this, because it was perfect down to one of the boys even breaking the 4th wall and talking to the camera, and it was a steady walk and talk, and just like, this is exactly like Malcolm in the fucking Middle.
Yep.
But it's Halloween, and we get Scarlet Witch dressed up.
Slakovian fortune teller, she tells her kids she's dressed up as.
I thought, spoilers, I'm sorry, guys. I thought this was as far as we were going to go to get her as close as what she looked like in the comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was
We know it's not true now, but like...
Right. It was pretty, it was pretty close at the time, but I think it was more of like older version of what she looked. You know what I mean? Like in what we see eventually, we'll get to it. It's a more modernized version of her outfit or costume, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it was cool. And then you had Vision come downstairs in his getup and saying he was a Mexican wrestler. I thought it was funny how they were trying to like play off what they were, and they couldn't really explain it to their kids what they were supposed to be.
Because I'm not going to lie, when we first talked about the show and I was hesitant,
Yes.
those images were some of the first ones I saw where I was like, ew.
Right.
What are you guys fucking doing? Like, ew. And then as it made sense and unfolded the way it did, I was like, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
God damn, they're fucking smarter than I am. I really prejudged them on that front because I loved the way they both looked and the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
fine with it.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was kind of a funny knock on what they used to look. You know what I mean? It was like they're kind of making fun of what they looked like in the comics and stuff like that. So it was very clever. And like you said, these show started off. Like I said, the show started off kind of, like what the hell's going on here? But they tie everything in so great. I feel like that's why I love the show.
We still have Evan Peters running around as Pietro.
Yep.
And to continue with the motif of what you were talking about, he gets his DIY cosplay looking like his old school version.
Yep.
Which I might try to steal.
For your costume for yourself?
For Halloween, yeah. I might do that because I thought he looked awesome. It didn't look like much, just pants on top of shorts or shorts on top of pants and just a few little...
lightning bolt across his shirt.
How hard can it be?
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I thought he was great in this episode too. Like Uncle P, and like sleeping on the couch. Like even snores cool. Like there was a little cool. Like it was just... Yeah, it was cool to see him on the show. And like you said, that costume he had was, like you said, simple, but it was pretty cool looking. I don't know what it was, but it grabbed my eye as well.
Which also then extended to the two boys, where we get a little bit of Wiccan and Speed looking like Wiccan and Speed, where it's like, this is fucking Great. Because
Yeah.
people wearing costumes in the real world is weird. And how do we get around it? Let's just do this really quick. We will eventually get to them. Like, why would it explains why they're grown-up versions, or if we ever see them in a real outfit, like, where'd they get that idea? It's like, this one time from Halloween.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of backstory, of evolution of what they are going to end up looking like and stuff. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's what Marvel does great. Everything matters at some point. I feel like with Marvel, you know what I mean? Like it might not matter right now in the show, but at some point it might pay off.
Not only that, yeah, but they're also great at retroconning stuff.
Yeah.
If you remember Iron Man 2,
Yep.
there was like a little boy in a Tony Stark helmet, and that's actually Peter Parker. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. And it's like,
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly.
One of the sadder things comes out of this. So as Vision is trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, he gets to the farthest perimeters of the hex, and there's these two people setting up for Halloween and repeating the same motion over and over.
Yep.
Because the further away from her, the source, the weaker the magic is, the less puppetry they have. You know, they can only do simple motions. And this one lady was just trying to hang something. It was never fully there hanging it. And this other motherfucker was just putting down
like a pumpkin or something. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And there's that one single teardrop that rolls out of her fucking eye, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, so she's trapped. You know what I mean?
This is some creepy shit. You know, like, we have seen Vision take other people out of the hex, and it's like, oh my God, it's so scary.
Yeah.
It sucks, and blah, blah, blah. And then put him back in. But at least, like, there, you're okie dokie, mister, or something. Like, this bitch is forever gonna hang that thing now? Like, what happened?
What kind of hell is that? Yeah.
What kind of fucking hell is that indeed?
And then as you go further out in town, those people are just completely motionless. Like, they're just frozen. Like, so imagine being that, where you're not even moving at all. You're just kind of frozen in time. That's got to be torture, too, as well.
Yeah. I stand a lot, and I like to sit down. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know why I stand all the time, almost. And at the end of the day, laying down in bed is just so nice.
Rewarding. Maybe that's why you do it. It's a nice little reward.
But, yeah, not to get that, what kind of hell is that, too?
I know, yeah. Like, they're just literally frozen. Like, because I think Vision's like, ma'am, excuse me, are these your children? And she's just not moving at all, you know? So, yeah. As the further it goes out in town, shit's getting weirder, you know what I mean? I think Vision's kind of picking up, like, okay, this is getting really weird. I knew it was weird, but it's getting really weird now.
And as he sits and gets to the border, we are now hopping back and forth more than we ever have. Something in the early episodes that I loved was the aspect ratio would change. So when we were in WandaVision, especially in the 50s and 60s, it's called 133 side mat.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like this.
Yeah.
And then as she took Rambo out, it went to 240, which is more traditional. You know, if you watch old TV on your screens now, you're always going to have that side mat.
Yeah.
Because it's just 16 by 8, so it's all it could do.
Right.
So that's something small. And now that's going to start breaking more and more.
Yeah.
But we are going back and forth, and this fucking dickhead wants to get in there. Vision's right there wanting to come out.
The Dick Rector, I call him. Dick Rector Hayward. He's a fucking asshole.
That's perfect. Yeah, we're really going to talk about him in the finale because Jesus Christ. And eventually Vision does try to leave.
Yes.
Before that, he sees Agatha.
Agnes at the time, before he knows it's Agatha.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Spoiler alert, guys. I think we kind of, if you listen to the last one, we thought we were going to get through this, so we kept going. But as we know, like, we were not breaking the... she's playing him like a puppet, and he's trying to leave, and we realize now he can't.
Yeah. It was... I actually went back and rewatched the episode, and like you said, having hindsight now, and just seeing Agnes playing him, like, and it gives you a little different perspective because once you get to the finale, you get more perspective on it. But yeah, she's just, she tells him he's an Avenger, and she's like, don't you know you're dead? Like, and he's kind of like, she's getting all this shit dropped on him, like, and he's just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
why would I be dead?
Right?
Why would you be dead? Because like, you are.
And she calls him Avenger. I think he says, what's an Avenger? Like,
yeah,
he has no idea what, so you kind of get the feeling that this is not the Vision we know, you know what I mean? Like, we knew from the movies and stuff like that. So yeah, Agnes, she played him like a fiddle, like you said. Like, she just revved him up even more, I feel like.
Because we're definitely led to believe by Dick Director,
Dick Rector, yeah,
that Wanda has stolen the body and recommissioned him.
Yes.
So that's why he doesn't, and that's why when we hear that he doesn't have memories, it's like, wait. That's
Right.
weird. You know,
He
he's
should-
a fucking
yeah.
machine. How can he forget?
He should have some recollection.
Maybe it's the Mind Stone.
right.
Eventually, we will get farther into that. But one of the coolest things, in my opinion, then happens. Pietro's being a dick, says you can't kill your husband twice. She zaps him. He's out of the picture.
Yeah.
The kids go running home. Wanda realizes Vision's outside of the hex. He can't live outside of the hex. So
'Cause
instead of...
I don't mean to cut you off because Billy Wiccan is the one that says, "I hear Daddy's in trouble."
Nice, yes, because he's the one who gets her powers, more or less,
Yeah,
for anybody who's not familiar. So I hear Dad. Yeah, that's awesome. We're going to get to if these kids come back. So she's got to extend it rather than grab him in.
Yeah.
And there's normalcy on the outside of the hex. And then once it flips through, that's one of the coolest shots.
Yeah.
All of this military stuff becomes circus stuff.
Yep. The people become clowns and shit. Yeah, like some of the military people become clowns, and the one vehicle became like a funnel cake truck or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah.
Helicopter became a hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool to see how it engulfed these and turned them into this circus on the outskirts of town.
And before we really know it, are seeing what chaos magic really can do.
Yes.
It's not simply making it look like it's different. It's changing the matter completely.
Yep.
Which is fucking dope.
Yeah, and you mentioned chaos magic, and if you're noticing the theme song for this song, there's a line about chaos. This is chaos, or something like that, or keep pretend. It was cool, like hearing that, and then like realizing it. Once we get to the end of the show, which we'll get to, but yeah, it's like you said, it's changing the molecular makeup, if I said that right, molecular makeup of these people and these things. So yeah, it's like you said, it's not just changing it visually; it's actually changing the makeup of these things.
Great episode. It was really, really good. We get Darcy. She's coming into the hex now, which will play big as we now talk about breaking the fourth wall.
Yep.
I love Malcolm in the Middle. I like Modern Family more. So in terms of motif of the episode, I think this one wins it for me.
I've never continuously watched Modern Family, but I've seen episodes and it did nail it. And for me, what I love even more, which I think you love too, is The Office. And the theme song was a direct homage to The Office. You know what I mean? It was like, holy shit, this is The Office theme song. It was like almost sounded just like it. You know what I mean? It was very similar to it. So that was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Similar enough that you recognize.
Right.
Not
yeah.
so similar to get sued, hopefully.
Can we just say that Elizabeth Olsen, I think, deserves a goddamn Emmy? You know what I mean? Because she's playing all these different decades of television and she's nailing like every stereotype. You know what I mean? Like, or every kind of role. You know what I mean? So even in this one, she's like doing the deadpan humor and stuff like that. So yeah, I love this episode as well.
Even Julie Bowen stepped in and said something, who is one of the main people on Modern Family, and was like, this is great. I love this show and I like this blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Do you like Happy Gilmore?
Yes.
It's the same fucking lady from Happy Gilmore.
The
mom on
Modern
the middle
Family?
mom, yeah, she's the one who's actually Jay's daughter.
Oh yeah, okay.
It fucking blew my mind. For anybody who doesn't believe me, go back and watch Happy Gilmore, and she has like the two pictures, and like that's Julie fucking Bowen.
Holy shit!
And then when you watch this, you're like, how did you get better looking as you got older? Like this
right,
is fucking crazy.
Doesn't make any sense.
You should have been the witch in this show.
By the way, witches are badass. The show has made me realize how badass witches are.
Not since Hocus Pocus have I been so fucking sold on witches.
Yeah, they're fucking cool.
Now, to be honest with this episode, other than the Modern Family tie-in, like it's all about the end to me.
Yeah, stuff starts going haywire in this episode. Like the kids are playing a video game system, and it's like glitching into different. It goes from like Atari to Nintendo, GameCube to it ends up being like Uno. So like the kids are starting to pick up that stuff's going haywire, and like there's a lot of weird glitches in this episode. So yeah, it's like setting up for the end, and Wanda realizing that the jig might be up. Like something's going on.
Vision's still on the other side of town. He untaps Marcy. She's trying to help him get back. But subconsciously, in the hex, which is an extension of Wanda's mind, really, they keep getting blocked.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. When
that was pretty funny.
He's like, I think Wanda's trying to keep me. Because he's doing like one of those office interviews. He's like, I think Wanda's trying to keep me from getting home. And then it cuts to like a school guard walking out in front of the vehicle, and then so
the light goes out and somebody comes and fixes it.
Yeah, just random shit. Yeah, it was great.
outside the hex is actually more fun to some because we were supposed to get this aeronautical engineer.
Yeah.
Many people just fucking dug themselves a hole of who they thought it could be.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the reveal. That
No,
wasn't.
it was
the
very,
reveal.
very lackluster, the reveal. You know what I mean? It was just some random woman that Monica knew from the military, and that was it.
But when I listened to the director's take on it, it made more sense of like, yeah, why would I, no, I wasn't planning that. That moment, it's for Monica. Like, we're about to reveal her superpower, like her super being, her first time with the glowing eyes. She was told, don't go back in there. It's changing you.
Yeah.
And we were about to give her all this. Why the fuck would I bring somebody else in and like give, and I, for the first time, I was like, that is a good point. He is giving us a character. Like, why did we do that?
Right. And I think it's just people, like you said, the internet theorizing and getting pissed off when their theories don't come true. You know, it's, part of me wishing it was Reed Richards, but at the same time, I wasn't really that upset that it wasn't. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool origin story for Monica. You know, it kind of shows, like you said, how she's getting her powers, and yeah, it's essentially creating a new character.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be cool, but I never put my chips on that bet at all. Because in my head, it's like, this was all written before that deal went through.
Right, and there was speculation. They don't even know who Reed Richards, who's playing him yet. You know what I mean? There's speculation it's John Krasinski, but they don't know for sure. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, I think that's what people wanted. They wanted to see John Krasinski in the Marvel show. Like, that was like his introduction to the series, to the Marvel universe.
I think more so than even caring about the building of the universe, they wanted to be like, I was right.
Right.
I said it first. Look at the time and stamp. I said it first, and I was right.
Yeah, exactly.
And rather than even caring about what's happening.
The context, yeah.
I'm going to wrap up with more of my feeling about that. But of like, if you wanted to see it play-by-play of a comic book come to life, like, I don't agree with that.
Right.
Just go read the comic if you want to see that story and use your imagination and theater of the mind, and you play it out in your head. It's okay that this is something different.
Definitely, I agree.
So the engineer brings a thing, doesn't get through. Nope. Monica does. She now has superpowers.
Yeah.
And we're kind of at the end. Eventually, Vision goes, why am I trying to drive there? I could fucking fly.
That was the best, yeah. He takes off. He was sitting there doing a monologue, and he's like, what the hell am I doing here? He's like, why am I talking to you people? I'm going to go see my wife. And then he fucking shoots up and flies off and goes back to Wanda.
And for anybody who didn't, Darcy's left there. I kind of forgot that. And at the end, it pays off. But I was just like, where the fuck? Oh, yeah, you were. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
So at the very end of this, we find out the true. This is Agatha all along, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, it is Agatha all along at the end of this. Yep.
A song that people didn't know they needed.
It's fucking great. I
People
played
loved it
numerous times since it's on Spotify now. I love it. There's like even like remixes to it, like hip hop versions and shit, or whatever the kids listen to these days. But yeah, it's kind of like everybody, I think most people knew that she was Agatha Harkness, but just the way they revealed it, I thought was really cool in that theme song. Very Munsters vibe, like from the the show The Munsters, and yeah, it was cool. And then she was kind of just pulling the strings on a lot of the bad shit that happened in the Hex. That
was one of the things in which, again, if you want to hear what I'm referencing and listening to the director, Kevin Smith, which we also talked about, funny, full circle, no, it's not Fat Man on Batman anymore, Fat Man Beyond. They had the director, so you can go and listen to that. And in the meantime, I'm going to drop a little bit of what I heard. That was something that they had to split up the shooting for because she had to do it in all the different eras.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she was like, yeah, that was a great time, just like getting her in on set while the set was done and having her. I got to see Bubble. It just sounded like a fun fucking thing to do because her reveal, she's awesome.
Yeah, it was badass. She's a great character. And Catherine Hahn plays a great villain, you know what I mean? Like, just very, like very funny. She had great humor to her. Yeah, I loved her character. And she, at the end of that song, at the end of Agatha, I killed Sparky too. It's like, you bitch, you killed the dog. It's like, it was just great. I loved it.
And all the memes that came off of that.
Oh yeah,
are perfect.
Yep, and all the videos and the Agatha all along. Yeah, it's awesome. It was great.
My favorite was, and I hired Joss Whedon to finish Justice League too.
Yeah.
I was like, yay, my two favorite things are being talked about at once.
Yeah, that's great.
Then we can go into Previously On, where, in my opinion, these two finales are really just one giant ass-kicking movie.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it was, Previously On was great. It was kind of like Christmas Carol, kind of. I mean, she's going back through all her different stages of life. Like you say, it was just a lot of action, a lot of fleshing out a lot of the stuff that we might not have, we had questions about regarding her character and what her motivation was. So yeah, I love this episode as well.
We found out the reason that this show is the way it is, everything is the way it is, because her father sold bootleg American DVDs.
Yeah.
And watching them before they were sold was one of her family's great things. It was like a Friday night thing where it's like, we only speak English tonight and like stuff like that. And
meanwhile, Call of Duty's going on outside. There's like guys in the street with guns and shit. Yeah, it was cool because it gave a little bit. It made sense now that why she was using these sitcoms as a vessel in her, in this hex that she made up. But yeah, it was a cool reveal to see. It was kind of like a happy moment for her, and for someone who probably seems like doesn't have a lot of happy moments to remember as her lifetime.
And it's one I think everybody could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who doesn't have that one happy moment of just like, all right, this is my family sitting down and watching TV?
Yeah, exactly.
So to see her do that, it's just like, all right, I get that.
Yeah.
And then we go further and we see for 2 days we wait for Tony Stark to kill us. Like, that was her big thing to say in Civil War. And now that fucking shot, dude, still, I saw it. Even on my second time, I still jumped when, like, all of a sudden she's sitting there watching and the bomb goes off in back of her. And you're just like, holy shit.
Yep.
That was fucking dope.
And then the other bomb drops in. Now, do you think she prevented that bomb from blowing up, or do you think it's just because she says, oh, it was just a faulty bomb? You know what I mean? But
that's what she was led to believe. But the thing that this show instilled in us, or really tried to make canon, was that the Mind Stone did not give her any powers.
Yeah.
It only awakened what was there.
Right.
Now, the big fight is, where does Pietro stand in that? And did it wake up the X gene? Now that we own the X-Men, can we say, like, it didn't just awaken your witchness, it awakened your X gene? Because if not, then how did Pietro get powers?
Yeah.
Was he always meant to be a speedster still? Like, that doesn't co as well as Wanda's.
I agree. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, there's gotta be more to it than that.
But that scene was dope of her like trying to like go and talk to it, and then all of a sudden we saw almost a little bit of a pre-glimpse of what she was gonna look like coming out of the stone. And
it was kind of like a Phoenix from the X-Men moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like you could see, and there was like I saw images on the internet where they lightened up the picture, and you could actually make out like more details and stuff, and it was like, oh, this looks pretty fucking cool, whatever they're going with this.
But it was definitely a messianic kind of coming to moment with her, and that was blanked off the tapes, and something like you said, adding to her, we only got about 30 minutes of Scarlet, just Wanda. She's not even the Scarlet Witch. We'll get to that in a second, but not much. And now all of a sudden we got so much backstory on her in this episode, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was they gave you a lot of detail, and like you said, because prior to this show, Scarlet Witch, Vision too, they weren't characters I really cared about that much, and now like they're pretty huge parts of this universe. Now, I mean, like they have a lot of. I feel like they're gonna have a lot of implications going forward.
You definitely mentioned too Paul Bettany being in all 4 phases, the only person to do that.
Yeah, that was wild.
So he is a big part of this.
Yeah.
We see them at the Avengers watching Malcolm in the Middle, the Avengers compound, and again, thickening their kind of love story. Then we are led to believe, that fucking Endgame happens. And somehow Vision bought this place in New Jersey and left a little note with, I love you, and like, this is our new home.
Right.
And that's where she fell to her knees and let out all of this hex magic, and that's where this comes from.
Yeah, she created the hex essentially out of all this pain and grief, so she created this world that she wanted to live in, and made total sense. You're like, now I get it. This is why she created this world, because this is where she was supposed to start her home, her family with Vision.
It was so nice. I liked it. Was sad. Is this the one where we also find out that she didn't take his body? That she went and she was really like, you're actually dead.
Yeah, that was one of the stages she went through with Agnes, and it shows what an asshole Hayward is really, because he makes everybody believe that he doctors the footage from the facility and stuff like that, make it look like she stole the body. In reality, she was just going there to try to get the body, and she ends up leaving without it anyways. And yeah, it was kind of sad.
I can't feel you.
Yeah, it was very sad shit. So
to tie that up all towards the very end, we see that Hayward has made a Caucasian Vision.
Caucasian Vision.
White Vision, which is a story right out of the fucking pages, you know. So that was cool. A lot of people, in my opinion, didn't see that coming. Maybe Paul Bettany screwed himself over when he's like, I can't wait to work with this person.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you're talking about yourself, bro. There's going to be two visions, huh?
Yeah. White Vision was badass. Like, and I never realized. I think he looks way cooler than regular Vision. I was like, this fucking looks cool. But yeah, then Paul Bettany dug himself a hole. Like you said, he kind of played a joke on people pretty much, saying, oh, I wanted to work with this person my whole life. And then it ended up being himself. And I think that's where people were pissed off. Oh, he promised this big reveal. And I was like, not really. If you go back and listen to it now, it's like, no, he was kind of makes sense what he said. You know, it was electric when we were on screen together. It was a cool reveal, and I thought it was cool to see the White Vision come to how it came to be.
The series finale, and that is the name of the episode, picks up right where Previously On ends, and that is Agatha in full witch mode, using her purple magic to fuck up her kids. Not her kids, but
Right.
Wanda's kids.
Right. At the end of the last episode, doesn't she say, like, it was the last episode where she says she has the kids on the leash or whatever they are, the ropes or whatever, and she's like, I know what you are, Wanda. You are the Scarlet Witch, and that's how it ends. And, like, you're like, oh, shit. Like, that's, like, one of the first times they actually ever called a comic. Was that the first time they called a comic book hero by their, like, comic hero name? No?
Just her.
Okay.
I think there's
yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah, but I feel like something like they don't really. I guess Iron Man. No, you're right. No, never mind. Disregard that.
It's the first time that, anybody, like, because we got earlier on, I think it was Dickward who was like, she doesn't have one of those stupid names.
Yeah, right. You're right.
So everybody was like, are we sure? Like, we know that she's the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
But does everybody know that inside this world, nobody said that yet? So when that moment happened, it was a kick in the balls. Almost like you said of a Phoenix type position of, you are this mantle. You are this person. Not because you're a witch and you wore red, but no, this is a position that you now fill.
Yeah, I was listening to a couple podcasts where they thought the line was going to be, you are a mutant. And that's what people thought, like, that's how they're going to incorporate the X-Men and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool, you are the Scarlet Witch. I thought it was a badass way to end the episode. It's like, shit, she's the Scarlet Witch. Even though we knew it, but,
It was badass.
Yeah.
Now, which one did we see Agatha at the beginning of Salem? Was that Previously On or Breaking the Fourth Wall? No, it must have been Previously On, because at the end of Breaking the Fourth Wall is when we saw yes, okay. So it must have been Previously On. That was also one scene I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because that was a cool scene, because it was like you see her being led, and it's obviously Salem, and it says Salem, Massachusetts, 92 or whatever it was, and it was like you're assuming she's being led by like the villagers to be like burned at the stake, but then it turns out it's like other witches. They're like, you betrayed your covenant, you're doing all this magic above your age and rank, and it was pretty fucking cool. I thought it was a cool scene as well.
It was great, and more of her just being awesome and taking all their power, which then as we get into the series finale, Wanda's throwing red shit at her, and she's just getting her hands are just getting fucking haggard looking, and she says, taking other people's power is kind of my thing, and that kind of pays off then in figuring out, oh man, this is going to be a pretty gnarly fight.
Yeah.
But then Wanda does something that I'm like, yeah, why don't we do more of this? And she just chucks a fucking car at her.
Yeah, and that was a little Wizard of Oz reference there, the feet hanging out under this vehicle. I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
Fucking A, yeah. And that's when she gets introduced to the White Vision, and he almost mushes her head like a basketball.
Well, yeah, he walks up to her, he's like, Wanda, and you think he's going to be like nice and caring to her, and then he just starts fucking squeezing her head like you said. I was like, oh shit, he's not here to mess around.
Did you see Man of Steel?
Yeah, but like only once, and it was a long time ago, which is like the story of my life with movies. But
I don't know if it was an homage but there is a very similar shot of Zod holding. I can't remember if it's Lois or Martha, and Superman just comes in and fucking takes him and just rams him on. It's almost shot for shot the same.
yeah.
And I loved it in this one as well. He just kind of comes and takes her out, and she lands superhero pose, and he just rips up the street and throws him into a fucking tanker. The Vision, not the White Vision.
Right. My favorite shot in that whole sequence of Vision versus Vision is Vision versus White Vision is when something blows up in the background. It's just White Vision and like flames behind. It just looks so fucking cool. I was like, that is a badass shot. I'm a huge White Vision fan now. I think I want to buy the Funko. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Speaking of which, I got to get some of those Funkos for sure. My
Yeah.
wife was very pleased. It's almost a Star Warsian ending, if you ask me, in the fact that we've got Vision versus White Vision and Agatha versus Scarlet. and the kids versus the cops.
Yeah.
Because we get this heart-wrenching scene before the fight, bang, bang of Agatha going, look what you're doing to these townspeople.
Yeah.
And Kitty Foreman's there like, can you please just fucking kill us? Please just kill me. And everybody, so she's like, get out while you can. And so as they're escaping, the military wants to come in.
And there's a scene with Dottie, who we thought was, going to be this. A lot of people thought she was going to be a bigger character, like, because she was really super weird in the one episode she was in. But she's the first one that Agatha kind of snaps out of it. And she's like, I just want to see my daughter. She's been locked in her room because sounds like when they're not doing stuff, like the only time we see kids is the Halloween episode. It sounds like the rest of the time they're kind of just in their room sleeping the whole time. These kids
doing their homework or off doing something in which television often takes care of.
Yeah.
So they're forgotten, and it sounds like they're just like we were talking about earlier in the Halloween episode, just living in some sort of fucking hell.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like you kind of see how the hex is affecting these people. You're like, oh shit, like these people are, like you said, in hell. Like they're like being tortured. They just want to, have their lives back. So yeah, that was a good scene.
She cuts all them loose. They're out. The military's coming in. Dickward tries to shoot children.
Yeah.
What the fuck was man? That?
Maniac. He's a maniac. It's like, dude, they're even if they're not real children, because like if they're made up children, like you're still shooting at a child. Like it's insane.
On top of that, it's just you're trying to shoot at a child that you saw was stupidly fast.
Right. And they have powers, clearly. Like, you know what I mean? Like but then Monica jumps in front. And that's when you see kind of her power. She absorbs these bullets. And then Wiccan, the one bullet that does get by Wanda, he kind of like does some Magneto type shit and like stops it and drops it to the ground. So yeah, it was quite the sequence of events.
Vision eventually gets White Vision and goes into the discussion which we kind of teased going into this of like, which one of us really is the Vision?
Yeah.
And normally I have to complain a little bit. Because the spinny was too much.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I get that we're both flying in the air in a circular room, but it was very disorienting to me.
Yeah.
And that aside, I like that we stopped the bang bang to be like, I need you to elaborate.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And then they go through saying, I'm not made up of anything. I've got no real flesh and bone, but I have memories.
Yeah.
Or you are made up of nothing new, but stored like.
Right.
I'm not explaining too well, but which one of us is real? And
right.
Come here. I'm going to give you your memories. This is eventually.
Yeah,
what
I think Vision was trying to make them realize they're kind of one and the same. You know what I mean? Like, and then it was a funny parallel because outside you have Agatha and Wanda like going to town on each other, and then inside they're like, let's have an intelligent conversation here.
You want to destroy the Vision, but aren't you more the Vision than I am? And he's like, fuck.
And then he gives them the memories, and then he's fucking out of there. White Vision's gone.
And he just leaves.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of an everybody versus Agatha moment until Wanda's like, no, you guys fuck off. Stay there.
Yeah.
And she just starts throwing everything she has at her.
Yeah.
And missing a lot.
Right.
And at first, when I was first watching this, I was like, this bitch is going rampant. Like, what the fuck? I'm not seeing what's happening. And it's revealed, and to tell this story, we kind of have to tell another story.
Yeah.
At the very end of Breaking the Fourth Wall / the very beginning of Previously On, as the Scarlet Witch, or Wanda's in Agatha's basement, she can't do any of her own magic because there's ruins. And ruins are drawn on the wall, and the caster of the ruins can be the only person to do magic
within
in
the
said
space.
space.
Yep.
So what does she do?
When she's missing, or what we think she's missing, she's actually throwing ruins around the space around Agatha, and then it's like Agatha tries to use her powers, and she's like, couldn't do it, and Wanda says, well, you're the one that taught me this, so fuck you, kind of like, this is now I'm the only one able to use powers here.
And just starts doing like a sucking motion, taking all of what Agatha had stolen from her, taking it back, and even taking a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's when we get her in her, what I like to call the Dragon Ball Z, the final form.
Yeah.
We get to see her in her outfit, in which I will assume from now on be the Scarlet Witch's getup, her alter ego.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great outfit, and it was kind of cool because previously in this episode, Agatha says to her, Wanda, you're in the Darkhold, like in the book The Darkhold, that you the Scarlet Witch wasn't born, she was forged. And this was kind of like, I thought was her being forged. Like this was her moment of, I'm the fucking Scarlet Witch now, you know what I mean? Like I am the most powerful. She's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, who we know, Doctor Strange. That's what Agatha says. So yeah, it was kind of a badass moment where she's kind of like reached her full potential of what she's going to be, you know?
She fully knows what is. She understands why she's there now, and she understands what will have to happen.
Yeah.
Which is the end of the episode, which to me is just heart-wrenching. She goes on to become the Scarlet Witch and beat Agatha and set stuff right. She's eventually going to let everybody go and deconstruct the Hex. So she goes back to the center of the Hex where she started all of this empty plot of land that then became the house in which she shared all these memories of the show in. And the Hex is slowly coming in at them.
Right, and she's putting the kids to bed, saying, and she gives like the speeches that, even though we may not be together, we're still, something. I'm paraphrasing terribly here, but it was very heart wrenching. And like you said, the Hex comes closing in, and it's her and Vision just in the living room together. It's like, shit, this is getting real.
The kids remind me, and I texted you that day. I was like, it had some Titanic feels to it.
Yeah, like they know they're about to die or like about to cease to exist, and she's like. Yeah, very Titanic. I see what you meant there.
Why scare the kids
right.
and get them all in a panic? Just put them to bed like nothing bad's about to happen. And
shit's bad going to happen, yeah.
Now that has happened, and that already has stuck a dagger in my heart. I'm like, fuck. But then they go downstairs, and the talk there between Wanda and Vision is what made all of this worth it, in my opinion. Because I felt, the Vision said something like I was a voice, and then I was a thought without a body, and now I'm this. Now I was a memory. Like, I can't wait to see what happens next. Like, how will I say hello to you next time? And it's like, that's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And she said something even more to the effect of, was it that? How am I going to say hi to you next time? Oh, God, I wish I looked it up or had the exact quote, because there's two of them that are just so... It's exactly what you want to fucking hear if you're dying.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too morbid. But it reminds me of after Tony snapped.
Yeah.
And Gwyneth's just looking at him.
Yeah.
Pepper. She's my friend, so I call her Gwyneth. Gwyneth's just looking at him just like, it's okay, Tony.
Yeah. Like,
and I can make me cry because
Jesus.
What do you want to hear more? If you're going to die is just either it's okay or
go ahead.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fucking beautiful, man. And then they're gone and it's over and she's just there and people are still pissed off at her. And Monica's like, they'll never know what you did.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on both fences like, maybe you could have just made a house for you four to live in. You didn't need a whole town.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
At the same time, it is, dude. Like Monica said, if I could do it, you don't think I'd do this for my mom?
Right, yeah. She's like, yeah, like anybody would do it if they could, Yeah.
If it was for this,
right.
for this life right here, would I do that? Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
At the expense of what? Other people?
Yeah.
I'm making you happy. There's nothing in your life. I don't know.
No, I get
There's a lot of ethical discussion to talk about. Like, I don't think she was the entire monster.
No, she might got a little out of control, but I mean, her intentions were just to keep her family together, have this family with Vision. Yeah, I agree. And this show, in general, this show's had some great, because you're talking about the quotes. Like, I think it was the episode, what's the name of the episode? Previously on, when Vision, they're in the Avengers bunker or whatever, and Vision says, she's talking about how she's sad about her brother and stuff like that. And he says, what is grief if not love persevering? And it's like, damn, Vision's a fucking very prophetic guy. You know what I mean? He's got some great quotes. So it's very powerful. And the show is about WandaVision. You know what I mean? So, and it kind of hammered that home at the end there. Like, this show was always about those two people and their story and their connection and their love for each other.
And her grief.
Yeah, and her grief.
Getting over it in
right,
the grief process.
Yeah. And how it consumed her. Yeah, you know what I mean? And in the end of the day, all she was trying to do was have a family. I thought it was very powerful, like you said, and it kind of got Rogue One vibes. I think I told you this, like at the end of Rogue One, when it's blowing up behind them and like they're being consumed by this, and they're just hugging each other and kissing each other, and that's exactly how this show ended. Like, and the world was falling apart around them, but they had each other.
Beautiful.
Yep.
It was, and she kind of says, "I'm going to go off and figure out what I could do about this." And then we get an Easter egg, the thing that in which it was just not good enough for people of a Skrull taking Monica to the side and being like, let's go to space, bitch.
I think Nick Fury. I think it's Nick Fury, right? It's got to be, yeah.
The last time we saw him, he was on the spaceship. Yeah, he was in the sword.
Your friend of your mother's
shield.
looking for you or something like that. He said he wants to talk to you. So, yeah, the Skrulls. How do you feel about the Skrulls? I feel like they're going to fuck some shit up eventually, though. Like, they got their own intentions, I feel like.
That it would be a mighty Skrull thing to do,
yeah.
But I feel like if we didn't blow that already, it doesn't seem as big. Like, now that we already know that they're here to have shape-shifting assholes, like, it's not going to be a big surprise if we didn't. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'll be okay. We'll see what it has to do.
Yeah.
That was the mid-credit scene.
Right.
And then the post-credit scene, we didn't get White Vision. I really thought we were going to get something.
Yeah. I mean, they'll pay it off sometime at some point, but
It will, but I really thought he'd be in the corner or some shit. But we do get Wanda, and she's just doing average shit. But or is she?
right. Because then in the other room, she's doing some Doctor Strange shit where she's out of body levitating and she's going through that dark hold, which is no good. And I think this is maybe how she gets even more towards the dark side. I'm stealing a Star Wars reference, but she's reading this dark hold book, and then you hear the kids in the background, Mom, help, we need your help. So again, she's going to be motivated by her family, and she's going to do some bad shit to get her family back. You know what I mean? That's